Bonjour français. This week we are going to be working in Module 9. It's your very last module for this semester, spring 2016. And last week I asked you to complete your Module 8 exam and the 9.0 pretest and 9.0 culture section. We're actually also going to go over those in class this Tuesday. So we're going to be covering 4 lessons, 9.0, 01, 02, and 03. For 9.0, it's mostly about culture. You're going to learn a little bit about the history of French cultural influence around the world. And then at the end, you will have a pretest to complete, which is, of course, like all pretests, focused on what you're going to be learning this semester. 9.01 is where you're going to start to learn about different countries, learn about their capitals of the countries and how we call these different countries in French. One of your assignments, or the assignment that you have for 9.01, is a written assignment. So they ask you to tell where each of the places are. The question où se trouve means where is found. So when you answer it, you would say the France, la France, se trouve is found. And you're going to tell me where it is found. Well, based on a lot of the vocabulary that you actually learned in the module, you're going to tell me by telling me like north, south, east, or west. Whenever something is to the north or south of something, to that is au, au. Something that you have learned before, au, au, and we use that because these words north and south are masculine. Then when we get into east or west, we use a and then L apostrophe. À l'est, à l'ouest. So here you're learning about the names of the different countries, which is very important because some of them are not like in English. And you're talking about where they are found. So go through the practice here. Notice on the page before, though, I clicked a little too fast. You have some examples of how they tell where they're found. L'Angleterre se trouve au nord de la France. Le Canada se trouve au nord des États-Unis. So notice that when we have a French country, we use de la in front of it. When it is plural, we use de, D-E-S, right? And see how OAU is being used for north. So you have south, east, west, and so on. Then for 9.02, we're going to be talking about a couple different verbs. We already learned regular IR verbs in Module 8, and now you're learning about some irregular ones. Now, don't be fooled. Just because it's called the verb dormir does not mean that that is the only irregular IR verb you're learning. You're actually learning quite a few more, about 4 of them. So make sure you click through here where it says next, because it shows you others. You have dormir, you have partir, and then you have also servir and sortir. Yep, partir, servir, and sortir. So make sure you check those out. The reason why they're all grouped together is because they're conjugated in the same way. And there's a little trick that if you read through the lesson carefully enough, you'll see, actually I just passed the page, where it says that in order to conjugate them, these all have the same endings, but there's a little trick to knowing what you're supposed to take out when it's singular and what you're supposed to take out when it's plural. So you'll see as you go through the lesson. And for this assignment, for this lesson, there is no assignment, but you will have to know how to conjugate those verbs for the exam. Then as you go on through 9.03, we're going to learn about how to use en, au, de, d'apostrophe, du, and des, des. Some of these kind of look familiar, right? This one, en, you have not seen that before. The reason why we're going to use these is we're going to use them to talk about going to or coming from different countries, cities, quizzes, and you have a quiz on this. It's not a difficult quiz, but it's a very important quiz that you have to pay close attention to. In the quiz, you're going to be given a verb and you're going to be given a country. You have to tell me that you're either going to or coming from that country. It has a lot to do with the gender of the countries as well, and that's something we're going to focus on in our live lesson on Tuesday as well. So we're going to go through all of these all together. I highly suggest you come to the live lesson and also kind of skim through a couple of these beforehand. Use the note-taking guide like you should be using all the time. And I will see you on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Au revoir.